Good morning on what is a mild, bright and sunny day. It is Monday the 2nd of October. I've got a nice hot cup of tea and a parcel to unbox which has arrived today, and that has come from the Merry Mushmen, French publishers of OSR goodness like Nook magazine and the superlative folklore bestiary. So let's see if I can get into this safely. If I get my knife. That's the easiest to just cut at the top there. Once I've done that, I can slice through relatively easily. Almost there. Okay, so what I have here is Nightmare Over Ragged Hollow, and JRL1 Adventure Module for character level 1 to 2 for Old School Essentials, published by the Merry Mushmen. So you have, it's sort of like a hex crawl, but you've got just limited to 3 hexes. Let's find out what we've got inside. And you've got a sort of trade dress which sort of like has that kind of classic, sort of like not quite style, I'm saying not quite style, the style that isn't quite sort of like TSR classic early 80s look, but it's not dissimilar. So what we've got inside, we've got this nice sort of cover, almost, there's a certain bit of cartoonish Disney-esque feel to it. And then we pull this open. We've actually got slipcase cover on quite sturdy cardboard. That's classic TSR, of course. And on the inside flyleaf, we have a list of playtesters. Those resting in peace, essentially all the adventurers to who died, and how they died. Then a number of ways to introduce your adventure to your ongoing campaign. We have a map of Ragged Hollow on the inside flyleaf. Random encounters in the temple, and details of the temple itself on the inside of the cover. Very nice, very fetching. And then we get into the booklet itself. Nightmare Over Ragged Hollow, a bloody good start in adventurous life. A starting old school essentials adventure for level 1, playable in several sessions, and likely to lead adventurers to level 2 or 3. So this, let's say, is for old school essentials, which is the retroclone published by Necrotic Gnome, based upon the BX version of basic Dungeons and Dragons, and absolutely probably my favourite retro clone, because it's the closest to the one where I started role playing. But the great thing about Old School Essentials is if you have it, is that it's really accessible. So welcome. We have introduction, a guide to the OSR if you're new to it. That's a nice inclusion, not absolutely necessary, but still. Introduction. So telling you who the adventure for, and so on. Background, how to get the party involved, hooks, a timeline, what's going on. So you've got sort of like a sense of urgency, and we've got a list of all the trapped villagers. So the player characters had best act. So villagers trapped inside the temple. There's a tolling bell. And how we get to start the adventure. Got a list of rumours. And hey, we get some idea of the strangeness there, with the town, seemingly part of the town, sort of caught over some kind of dome there. The adventurers are making their way away. Before we get on to detailing Ragged Hollow itself, nicely drawn little town. So its locations, including the temple, split anvil, smithy, all presented in sort of like fairly bullet point fashion for ease of use. You know, you've got nice little illustrations there, a little bit cartoony, of people at rest, eating and drinking. Then we have sort of like the first sense of something not quite right. Where there's a well mystery and a basement vermin, sort of like characters there trying to sort of like deal with it. And then night events in Ragged Hollow. So you know what's happening when the player characters are sort of like are in their cups, you know, or in bed. Problems with local rivals. And the various locations. So we start off with the Windler House, Windler House. Have some kind of rat men threat there. It's a rat goblin, and then moving away from Ragged Hollow, we have details of Gloam Wood, and you basically you've got a map there on the back. So you've got a wilderness adventure as well. So you've got a location there with a cottage with an old wise woman. So you've got potential there for a bit of folklore folklore horror. Beyond that, a goblin market, trading for goods, good and ill there. So various locations that the player characters can visit, including a dam, crossroads, barrow, where they'll encounter a minor hag. And then other location, the Bleak Mountains. Again, map on the back, but here presented in larger detail. And up there, looks like they'll encounter a giant, or at least a woodman of great stature. Take a perilous path, climb Mount Morn. And you have, interestingly, you've got little details here which I'm sort of beginning to notice on the edge of the page. That's a little bit cut off, so it feels a bit rough there. You can just about read it. And then underground in the mountain. And then the Wailing Hills. Well, there's a ravine and an ogre den. A tower full of bandits. And a bandit lair. I have to say that you've got the sort of like that. The mapping of these individual locations isn't quite as interesting, perhaps, as been done elsewhere for Old School Essentials. But the text itself is sort of like sort of counters that. We've got fully detailed descriptions, and then you have the temple itself. A table of encounters in the temple, and here you've got, essentially, you do have the big map here. It's a big map for ease of reference, but you have within the actual descriptions. Flick back to where we were. The individual locations within the temple. for even easier reference. You can use that map on the inside cover for sort of like to get a good overview, but when you're going to get down to particular details, you know, you're in the dormitory, they're exploring there, you want to know, you know, room to room locations. School, have a look at the, we've already had a look at the dormitory, commons area. And then the crypts. And then details here of how the adventure ends, and you've got a list of new magical items that player characters might be able to pick up and find. Potential retainers or replacement characters. It's always a nice touch because these things can't. I mean, you're not meant to be necessarily survive with any great ease. And then at the end here we have a sample character sheet, which you can player characters can the players can use, or you can copy and so on. Anyway, so that is Nightmare over Ragged Hollow, little adventure for levels 1 to 2 for Old School Essentials, published by the Merry Mushmen. Looking forward to having a look at that in more detail. Hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be able to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a package. In this case containing an adventure which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice little cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing of the Nook. I will be back soon with another one. Bye for now.